So one of these is the new GoPro, and no prizes for guessing which one it is. The new Mission 1 Pro. Just to prove it, there you go, you can see them both there. Now, there's a lot of exciting new things in this camera we're going to talk about right now. So GoPro's been kind enough to send me an early version. This is not quite, but pretty much final hardware. And here is the GoPro 13 Hero 13 that you can buy today. Now, lots of obvious differences. For one, this whopping great lens on the front of this one. We have these chunky buttons, which are going to be great if you shoot with motorcycles, you do snowboarding, wear gloves, that kind of thing. But the real goodness, of course, is on the inside. So this guy shoots at 8K, 60 frames per second. It will even shoot 4K at 240 frames per second, which is an update we just saw to the Osmo Pocket 4. And this will also shoot 1080 at 960 frames per second. Although I will be honest, that is a 10-second burst of video. So if you think you're going to get a whole ski run out of it, you will not. But it will still shoot 1080 at 480 frames per second, according to the press release. And all of this new magic is being enabled by that new GP3 processor, which the company claims is also going to extend runtime significantly. According to the press materials, I can't test it right now, this should be good for over 5 hours of filming at 1080p and over 3 hours of filming at 4K, which if you've ever used a GoPro in the past, you know is a phenomenal improvement. So perhaps most important of all, at least in my opinion, is that new 1-inch sensor. So GoPro fans have been calling out for a 1-inch sensor for years, and now it's finally here. And that's going to improve low light performance and image quality in general. You can now shoot up to 50 megapixel photos, and there's now support on board for 32-bit float audio, which is going to be great for filming in noisy environments where you can bring that noise down and you won't get any audio clipping, or even if you're recording in quiet environments and you want to bring that audio up without too much loss. And then there's my favorite thing, and this is a personal one, is you can, for the first time, you can connect a USB microphone directly to the GoPro. Beforehand, even with the media mod, you were still using either adapters or 3.5mm audio out. Now, no need to worry about any of that. If you've got a USB wireless mic kit, you can connect it directly into the camera and go. And this is fantastic news for vloggers. Though I will say, a little bit of early feedback, you're going to have to, if you want to connect a USB microphone, it's going to have to be able to fit in here. I've tested it with the DJI Mic 3. That also works, so you can connect the receiver from the DJI Mic 3 directly into here, and it'll be sort of hanging out the side, but it does work. So yes, you can connect USB microphones, but they're going to have to be able to fit into this slot here, which is a little bit similar to how it works on the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. I'll take it USB microphones all day long. And for those that like to tinker with their cameras, the Mission 1 Pro is still compatible with GoPro Labs, so you can unlock a whole bunch of features that way too. It's obvious that the Mission 1 Pro is a little bit bigger than the Hero 13 Black. And the Hero 13 Black, since the Hero 10, the cameras have already been bigger than the 7, 8, and 9 before them, which were again bigger than the 5 and the 6 and so on. So yes, the cameras are getting slightly bigger, but then I suppose that's to be expected if you want to have more power from them. So this one is the Mission 1 Pro version. There is a regular Mission 1 without the Pro, and the main difference there seems to be the frame rates, the top frame rates that you can record at. So the Mission 1 Pro does 8K 60, 4K 240, and then the regular Mission 1 does 8K at 30 and 4K at 120, so half the frame rates. So if slow-mo is important to you, then you might want to go for the Pro version. But then there's the price, which might also be a deciding factor for you when we get to know these cameras a little bit better. So the regular Mission 1 is going to come in at $600, which isn't too bad. It's a little bit more expensive. It's about $100 more than what the Hero Black tends to launch at. But obviously we're getting all these extra features and whole new hardware, so it doesn't surprise me that they've priced it a little bit more expensive. The Mission 1 Pro, however, that's going to be $700. And we're now reaching into, this is prosumer territory. So you're going to either have to really want this camera, or you're going to have a professional use case where the cost of that isn't so daunting to you. But again, until we've tested these things, until we get the final firmware and we know exactly what these cameras can do, it's going to be hard to say whether those prices are justified or not. One thing I did notice, a little bonus, one of my favorite accessories with the Ace Pro 2 was this little point and shoot grip. It made it feel like a proper camera, this big chunky button. And it's just made it nice for when you're not in action mode and you want to take it around like a normal camera. One of the other things that was revealed when GoPro announced the new Mission cameras is a similar thing. So this one is definitely a complete prototype. This is not anything like the final accessory that you'll be able to buy, but it gives you an idea of basically how similar they are. Look at those two. So very, very similar. I've been thinking for a long time that GoPro might want to be taking a little bit of a look at what Insta360 is doing, especially in the vlogging world. And it seems that they've been doing exactly that. So we got this point and shoot grip, which I believe comes free with the Mission 1 and Mission 1 Pro, at least at launch. So that's like maybe a little bit of a deal sweetener. Again, once we get to know a little bit more about these cameras. But for now, that's it. Like I say, unfortunately, I cannot test these cameras because they don't have the final firmware. These are early units that GoPro's let me have an early look at. But those are some of the key differences between the Hero 13 Black and the Mission 1 Pro. Let me know what you think. How do you think the pricing's set? Are you excited to see what low light performance is like? Are you really waiting for that ILS with the interchangeable lenses? Let me know in the comments. If you don't want to wait a couple of weeks for more information on the Mission 1 Pro or want to see a review of a camera that you can actually buy today, then why don't you check out my review for this guy, the Osmo Pocket 4. You should see a link to the video right here. But in the meantime, why don't you get out there and go create?